All right, so I am back, and in this video, I want to share with you my favorite resources for teaching character and manners. Now, unfortunately, a couple of these resources, my favorite ones, the ones that I've used for years, they are getting harder and harder to find today. It's really rare. They have them here on Amazon, but they're like 50, 60 bucks each. So, maybe try a couple other places, but it's worth it to me. I mean, these are things I've used for years, so definitely worth the money, even if you have to pay the the rare price today. So let me get into it and show you, especially these two that I've used, well, three that I've used forever. So teaching children about manners and character. The first one is what every child should know along the way, teaching practical life skills in every stage of life. I've talked about this, I'm sure, before, but it has charts that you can use for each age. So age 13, what they should be doing, age 14, age 3, what they can be doing. So if you're struggling with how much can they do, what should I give them, this is really practical living skills checklist. But we go through it Bible time. We go through a little chunk at a time, and I'll go through it again and again. Manners, things that they need to, how to act at other people's guests, when you are a guest, when you're the host, biblical character traits, we go over that. And then at the very end, they have a checklist. And I love this. You can go through it, make sure you talk about things like bike safety, motor vehicle safety, electricity, sharp, dangerous things, strangers. So these are things that, just like it says, what every child should know along the way. Practical things that we could just forget to mention, to teach them. But I love especially like all the manners for gentlemen only, for ladies only, different things. I've had this ever since my older girls were really little. We went through it, and then I forgot about it for a while, and then I purchased it again, and I'm so glad that I did. I love those checklists, very helpful. And like I said, after Bible time, we'll just take a little chunk and go through it. And it's always a lot of fun. Kids will bring up if there's issues in those departments. Oh yeah, so-and-so always does. So we were saying, no, let's not say any names. Let's all work on this ourselves, but it does bring up a lot of conversations in the home. Great character development book. Another one along the way, I've already lost the cover to this. It's very old. It's for Instruction in Righteousness. This is by Pam Forster. Again, it's really hard to find. This one has a lot more Bible. So for example, you can take a trait like early swayed or double-mindedness, and then it'll give you all the biblical accounts and stories of, people being double-minded and the consequences from that. So haste, it has negative and positive, which I like that it has both. Gossip, slander, biblical information, commandments about the sin, what is gossip likened unto. But I also like that it gives you stories that illustrated in the Bible and verses to memorize. And sometimes it'll even give you consequences like stealing, and if a child, stealing, biblical consequences that you can kind of adapt in your home. So it's a great resource just for that. And again, it's really hard to find. If you can get a hold of it, it's probably only going to get harder to find. So yeah, I love this book. Unkind Speech, that's another one. So again, you can just kind of, maybe if you see something in your home that you don't like that's happening, you can, without saying any names or anything, just go to that chapter and talk about it, or use it as a discipline tool, and talking with the child. You could do it that way, or you could just go through it, one thing at a time, one character trait per month if you wanted to, something like that. Here's another book that is also, it is so falling apart. I need to book tape it. It's just hanging by threads, literally. But it's Big Thoughts for Little People. ABCs to help you grow. And we've moved around a lot, but this book has always made the purge and has come with us everywhere. And I love it because it's just so colorful and the kids are really drawn to it. And you can pick a letter from the alphabets, ABCs. So I'll say, pick a letter today. Oh, okay. And then we talk about it. O is for obey. When you do as you're told, it makes parents glad. They won't punish or scold. So it rhymes, has a little story. They're supposed to look for things in the picture. And then it has some questions down at the bottom and a Bible verse to memorize. So this is Ephesians 6:1, or you could just kind of go over it. It's not King James, but you can just substitute with your own Bible verses. But this just brings back so many great memories, just doing this with my older kids and continuing on now with the little kids. And the older kids will still listen in, and it's nostalgic for them. Love this book. And just a couple of other books. Stories that just illustrate that you can use for character development is Aesop, the Aesop for children. So these are Aesop's fables, but geared for children, and also the children's book of virtues by William J. Bennett. Obviously, this is super popular. You'll be able to easily find this one here on Amazon. So that is what I use, for character development. We talk a lot. I explain things. I use these books. So every day we'll read the Bible, we'll sing a hymn together, and then we'll go through one of these resources and talk about it, pinpoint it, read a poem from the day from one of my favorite poetry books, and then that's it. And then they're ready to start the day. I love starting our mornings that way. So that's it. If you have any questions, email me, Karen@ourhousehomeschooling.com. If you have a really hard time finding these books, I might have a couple other sources that I can share with you where to find them. So I will talk to you soon. Bye.